What if I told you that having less than $1,000 in the bank doesn't mean you're failing, but it does mean you're in a dangerous financial zone? Not because you're poor, but because one mistake, one emergency, one bad month can completely reset your life. And here's the scary part. Millions of people are living exactly like this right now. No margin, no safety net, no financial breathing room. But today, I'm going to show you something most financial advice never explains. If you currently have less than $1,000 saved, there are specific moves you should make immediately, not random advice. A clear financial survival strategy. Because the first $1,000 is not just money, it's the line between chaos and control. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do next. Section 1. Why $1,000 matters more than you think. Let's start with something important. People love talking about six figures, millionaire habits, real estate portfolios, but almost nobody talks about the first $1,000. And that's a problem, because without the first $1,000, you're financially fragile. A flat tire, a medical bill, a broken phone, a missed paycheck, any of these can trigger financial panic, and panic leads to bad decisions, credit card debt, predatory loans, desperation spending. But here's what most people misunderstand. The goal of the first $1,000 is not wealth, it's stability. And stability is the foundation of everything. But here's where most people sabotage themselves. Section 2. The paycheck trap. If you have less than $1,000 saved, there's a high chance you're trapped in what's called the paycheck cycle. Money comes in, bills come out, and suddenly the account is empty again, month after month, year after year. It feels like you're working, but not moving forward. And here's the hidden danger. The paycheck cycle kills long-term thinking. When survival becomes the focus, strategy disappears. You stop thinking about investing. You stop thinking about building assets. You just try to make it to next Friday. But escaping this cycle doesn't require a massive salary. It requires something much simpler, and most people ignore it. Section 3. Financial clarity. If you have less than $1,000 saved, you must know exactly where your money is going, not approximately. Exactly. Most people know their salary, but they don't know their spending. And that's like trying to drive with your eyes closed. You need three numbers: monthly income, monthly expenses, remaining margin. Because wealth is built in the gap between the two. And if that gap doesn't exist, saving becomes impossible. But here's something most people refuse to admit. Sometimes the problem isn't income, it's behavior, which leads to the next uncomfortable truth. Section 4. Small expenses are not small. People love saying, it's just $10, it's just coffee, it's just delivery. But small expenses repeated daily become financial gravity. $15 a day, that's $450 a month. Over a year, more than $5,000. That's 5 emergency funds. The issue isn't the coffee, the issue is unconscious spending, and unconscious spending is what keeps accounts empty. But even if you fix spending, there's another mistake people make when trying to save, and it actually slows them down. Section 5. Saving without a system. Most people save randomly. If money is left at the end of the month, they save. But that rarely happens. Because spending expands to fill income. The solution is simple. Reverse the order. Pay yourself first. Automate transfers, even if it's small. $20 is $50, $100. Consistency beats intensity. Because saving isn't about discipline, it's about systems. But here's where things get interesting. Because the real goal isn't stopping at $1,000. That's just the beginning. Section 6. The power of the first $1,000. The first $1,000 changes your psychology. You stop living in panic mode. You stop reacting emotionally. You start thinking strategically. Instead of, how do I survive this month? You start asking, how do I improve my financial position? That mental shift is powerful. Because wealth doesn't start in your bank account, it starts in your mindset. But mindset alone isn't enough. You still need momentum, and that momentum comes from the next move. Section 7, increase income, not just cut expenses. Saving alone has limits. You can only cut so much. But income has no ceiling. The biggest financial breakthroughs usually come from learning a skill, negotiating salary, starting a side income. Even an extra $300, $500 per month can change everything, because when income rises, saving accelerates. But here's the mistake many people make next. Section 8, lifestyle inflation. You finally start earning more and suddenly, a better phone, a better car, more subscriptions, more spending. This is lifestyle inflation, and it silently kills wealth. Because the moment income rises, expenses rise with it. The wealthy do the opposite. They increase income, but delay lifestyle upgrades, which creates one powerful thing, margin. And margin creates opportunity. Section 9, building your financial buffer. Once you reach $1,000, the next target isn't luxury. It's 3 to 6 months of expenses. Why? Because life is unpredictable. Jobs change, markets change, health changes. A financial buffer buys something priceless. Time to think, time to adapt, time to make better decisions. And people with time make smarter moves. But there's still one question we haven't answered, and it's the most important one. Section 10, why most people never escape this. The biggest barrier isn't money, it's behavior, procrastination, comfort, avoiding financial responsibility. People say they want financial freedom, but they avoid financial discipline. And discipline is the bridge between intention and results. The good news? Habits can change. And when habits change, money follows. Section 11, stop trying to look rich. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Many people with less than $1,000 in the bank still try to look rich online. Nice clothes, fancy dinners, expensive phones. But behind the scenes, they're broke. And here's the trap. The moment you try to look successful, you stop trying to become successful. Because appearances are cheaper than discipline. Rehook. But the next habit might be the most dangerous one of all, because it silently destroys your financial future. Section 12, ignoring small expenses. Most people think poverty is caused by big mistakes, but in reality, it's usually tiny daily leaks. $5 coffee, $10 delivery, $20 subscriptions. They seem harmless, but over a year, they can cost thousands of dollars. And when you have less than $1,000 saved, every dollar matters. Wealth isn't built by big wins. It's built by small decisions repeated daily. Rehook. But the next habit is even worse, because it convinces you that saving money is pointless. Section 13. Believing saving is useless. Some people say, I can't save anything anyway. So they stop trying. But here's the truth. Saving isn't just about money. It's about identity. Every dollar saved tells your brain, I'm someone who builds wealth, even if it's $1, even if it's $5, because habits create identity, and identity creates results. Rehook. But the next mistake keeps people stuck financially for decades. Section 14. Staying in the same environment. Look around you. Your environment is shaping your future. If everyone around you complains about money, hates successful people, spends everything they earn, guess what happens to you? You normalize financial struggle. This doesn't mean abandoning your friends, but it does mean exposing yourself to better influences, books, podcasts, mentors, smart communities, because mindset spreads like a virus. But the next habit might shock you, because many hard-working people still do this every day. Section 15. Working hard without strategy. Hard work alone does not create wealth. Strategy does. Millions of people work 10, 12 hours a day and still stay broke. Why? Because they never stop to ask, is this the best use of my time? Wealthy people focus on skills, leverage, opportunities, not just effort. If you only trade time for money, your income will always be limited. But the next habit quietly drains your bank account faster than almost anything else. Section 16, financial avoidance. Many people avoid checking their finances. They don't check their bank account. They ignore their credit card. They delay facing reality. But avoidance creates anxiety, and anxiety creates worse decisions. Financial peace begins with financial awareness. Even if the number is small, even if the number hurts, facing the truth is the first step to changing it. Rehook. But the next mistake is one that society actually encourages. Section 17, comparing your life to others. Social media has created a dangerous illusion. Everyone looks rich, luxury trips, new cars, perfect lifestyles. But what you're seeing is usually highlight reels, not reality. Comparison leads to overspending, bad financial decisions, unnecessary pressure. Your goal is not to impress people. Your goal is to build financial freedom. Rehook. But the next habit might be the biggest silent killer of wealth. Section 18, lack of financial education. Schools teach many things, but rarely this: how money works, how investing works, how debt works. And because of that, most people enter adulthood financially blind. But here's the good news. Financial education today is everywhere. Books, podcasts, YouTube. The question isn't access, it's curiosity. Rehook. But the next mistake might be the most painful of all. Section 19. Fear of starting. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect income, the perfect opportunity. But perfection never arrives. Wealth begins with imperfect action. The first investment, the first savings account, the first side hustle, the first financial book. Small beginnings lead to massive outcomes. And finally, the last habit might explain why many people stay broke forever. Section 20. Believing your situation is permanent. This belief destroys more dreams than lack of money ever could. Some people believe this is just how life is. But financial situations are not permanent. People go from broke to wealthy every day, not overnight, but through better habits, better thinking, better decisions. Your current bank balance is just a snapshot in time, not your destiny. If you want to learn about credit cards or discover millionaire habits, please check the videos that appear at the side of the screen. If this video helped you see money differently, then remember this: financial freedom doesn't begin with thousands of dollars. It begins with awareness and better habits. And if you want to keep learning how to build wealth step by step, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because on this channel, we break down the habits, strategies, and mindset shifts that can help you move from survival to financial freedom. And if you're serious about changing your financial future, start with the next video on your screen, because the sooner you understand how money really works, the faster your life can change.